Thank you so much for tuning into today's webinar, Social Media for Real Estate Agents and Creating Content That Converts. In today's lesson, you will learn how to select the platform that works best for you and engages clients. You'll also learn about creating engaging content that converts to qualified leads, as well as maximizing the ROI of photo, video, audio content, as well as ads. You'll also learn what equipment to use for Facebook Live and storytelling strategies for your next open house. Before we get started, I am your coach, Carlos Gil. As you see there in front of you, I've had the opportunity and pleasure of working with some notable brands throughout my career, notably Winn-Dixie, Save-A-Lot, LinkedIn, and most recently BMC Software, where I've held corporate marketing positions as a head of social media. I've also had the distinct honor of working exclusively with Keller Williams over the last 2 years as a MAPS group coach. So a lot of the content that you're going to see here today, over 1,000 Keller Williams agents have gone through my course and consumed and applied, most importantly, this content that you're going to see. Now, I do have a presence on social media, a very active presence, so I do invite you to connect with me. You see my handles there in front of you for Instagram, Twitter. You can find me at CarlosGil83. I'm also on Snapchat and on Facebook as the Carlos Gil. So while you're consuming today's content and you're seeing this webinar, feel free to pull out your phone, tweet out, take notes, most importantly, and you are in for the next 30 to 45 minutes of learning. Now, my objective, as well as my commitment and promise to you, is to help agents grow their leads pipeline and sell more homes by developing an online marketing strategy comprised of the most effective strategies for social media, email marketing, and customer relationship management, also known as social selling. So in full disclosure, I work with real estate agents every single day. I do have a social media for real estate agents program that I'll let you know more about at the end of today's presentation. And if you're interested in working with me, you can either sign up for that program or you can email me directly. You see my email address there on the screen in front of you. And once again, I have a corporate marketing background. So a lot of what I teach agents around personal branding and social selling and email marketing are the same tactics and skills that I've learned and applied over the years, not only for my own brand, but also corporate brands and now clients through my agency, which is Gill Media. Now, there's 4 pillars of a social media strategy. And in last week's webinar, we talked about personal branding. If you didn't have a chance to tune in to last week's webinar, I recommend that you go to youtube.com/Carlos Gil TV or go to my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/the Carlos Gil, and you can see that webinar all on personal branding. And I say this because today we're going to cover the second pillar in your social media strategy, which is content marketing. So if you don't have a personal brand yet, or if you have somewhat of a presence on social media and your personal brand could use some work, that's okay. You can go back, you can watch last week's webinar to go ahead and learn about optimizing your personal brand. Today's topic around content marketing is the second step. So once you build your personal brand, which is having an active presence on social media, having a consistent username, having a consistent look and feel, the next step is, what are you going to go ahead and post? What are you going to share with people? The next step from there, being the third pillar, is engaging consistently. So you build your brand out, you have content, which is what you're funneling through your social media accounts. And then the engagement piece is where the magic really starts to happen. I won't spoil it too much for you today, because I'll be talking more about engagement strategies on the next webinar. But when you engage consistently, this means that you're using social media not only to listen to what's being said on various discussion threads and various platforms, but having open dialogue and having direct conversations with potential home buyers, potential sellers, potential investors. And then the fourth pillar is measurement. So if you kind of follow each one of these pillars one by one, This is the easiest way for me to break this down for agents that are either new to social media or have been using social media for quite some time. So you're going to build your personal brand, which is you're going to have a presence on the social networks where your clients live and where you're going to be the most active. From that personal brand that you build, your content is going to really help amplify and create awareness for your brand. And then when you have content that people are seeing and they're reacting to it, they're commenting, they're liking, they're retweeting, they're sharing, then you're going to engage. And by engaging is really where you're going to build those fruitful connections, which hopefully will lead to clients and close deals. And then how will you know that you're successful with everything that you do? That's through the measurement piece. So most marketers, most agents, most people that use social media, they do a pretty good job with 1 and 2. 3, they start to fall off. 4 is typically something that people completely keep their eyes off of because they're so focused on creating content. They're so focused on having a presence. They're so focused on going in every single day, 2, 3, 4 times a day to create content that they forget to stop and say, well, are people even watching the content? Are people swiping up on LinkedIn? Are people on Instagram, I should say? Are people clicking over to my website from Facebook? Why is it that I'm not seeing results? If you've ever said to yourself, social media is a waste of time, it's probably because you haven't taken the time to truly measure if what you're doing on social media is impactful. And guess what? If you understand social media metrics, if you understand how to measure what you're doing to see if it's even making a ripple in the digital ecosystem, then at that point you'll say, it is working. Maybe I should double down. I should spend, instead of $10 on boosted posts, maybe I should spend $30 when I boost my content Facebook. Oh, if I spend 1 hour a day on social media and I get 1 new lead out of it, maybe I should spend 2 hours a day because I'll get double or maybe even triple the results. So you see how measurement works in this, and you can't measure anything really on social media until you start with developing your brand and push out content and then engage. These are all interconnected. You can't really skip any one of these pillars without having what I like to refer to as a omni-channel strategy, which is building a presence across social channels, create different content across channels, and then measure the outcome and results of each one of those channels. Once again, in the Social Media for Real Estate Agents course that you can find on socialmediacareeracademy.com, every week we cover one of the 4 pillars during our mastermind calls, and then throughout the program itself, the curriculum is broken down into each one of these pillars. So module 1 is personal brand, 2, content marketing, 3, engaging consistently, and then 4 is measurement. Now, why does social media content matter for a real estate agent? First of all, content is what people see, read, and feel when they come across your personal or corporate brand online. You are your brand. There is, quite frankly, no difference between personal brand or professional brand because you are the brand of you. And in your content, whether it's photos and videos of you out with your kids, whether it's photos and videos of your listings, a mix of what you do professionally and personally, that is your brand and that's content. And when people perceive that content is how they're going to go ahead and have that vision of you. And also, just so you all know out there, it's how prospective clients are going to view you if you are well plugged into your community, if you know your community well, if you're constantly talking about your community, then they're going to perceive you as being someone that they should do business with. And I'll share with you real quickly here as an example, the agents that I personally know are generating ROI from social media and from specifically social media content are the ones that are posting less about listings and they're posting more about what's happening in their community. Because let's face it, people, especially if they're not in the market for a home right now, don't want to consume content about listings every single day. They don't want their newsfeed to be clogged up with listings. I'll give you an example. I live in Los Angeles, California, and I'm more inclined to connect and follow you if I perceive you as someone that knows the community better than I do, someone that is connected in the business community because I own a business myself, someone that I can reach out to and say, hey, I just moved here recently and where are the good restaurants to go to? Where's the local barbershop? Where are the good schools for kids and for families? So again, the agents that are having the most success with social media are posting least about listings and they're posting more about the community that they serve. Now, with that being said, content marketing is the tactic of driving awareness and interest to your brand based on what you post and when. So let me kind of break this down for you. Content marketing, the easiest way for me to explain it is driving people to know who you are and what you do through what you post. So I would never know that you're a real estate agent if you don't make it abruptly apparent to me. And what I mean by abruptly apparent is having realtor and real estate agent directly in your bio on Instagram and on Twitter and even on Facebook as well. It's a given that if you're on LinkedIn, I'm going to be able to see what you do for a living. But if I go to your Instagram account and I don't see the words right underneath your username and your name, realtor or real estate agent, and the broker that you work for, I don't know what you do. I just assume you're someone that likes to post cool houses for a living. But I don't necessarily inherently know that you're a real estate agent. Same thing on Twitter. If you're on Twitter right now and your username isn't your first and last name and realtor or first last name real estate, or in your bio, it doesn't explicitly call out that you're a realtor, a real estate agent, or a broker, I don't know what you do. That's a missed opportunity right there, right out of the jump. The content now that you post is going to draw awareness and interest to what you do. So, example being is you're a real estate agent. It's very abruptly apparent in your Instagram as well as your Twitter bios as well as on Facebook. And now it makes sense when I see that you're at a listing, you're posting an Instagram story. It makes sense when you just sold a home that you have an image that you're tweeting out congratulating that family. Now it makes sense. And I'm going to say, wow, this agent that I follow is really successful. People do business with him or her. They're likable. Think of why people should do business with you and why your content matters. It makes you more likable. It makes you approachable. It shows success. People do business with who they feel comfortable doing business with. So knowing this, the more that you show what you do and the results that you're driving for others, the more people are going to be instinctively inclined to do business with you. So that's content marketing as it pertains to real estate. Next is your content marketing strategy should be planned out by channel, when and where. So you should know that on Instagram, your strategy is X. On Facebook, it's X. On Twitter, it does this. On LinkedIn, it does this. Your social media strategy for content should not be the same on every channel. And the reason why is because, first of all, the algorithms work completely different on these networks. Two, the audience on these networks is completely different. So my recommendation is mix up your content to various forms across platforms. I also recommend that you mix a healthy variety of professional and personal content. Again, people don't necessarily want to know every single day what you're doing in your real estate business. But if you're at a local restaurant, if you're at a grand opening, if you're at school, if you're at any sort of civic event, this is content that you can be creating and filtering through your social networks. The last bullet point that you see is content is what will help you grow your personal brand and drive new leads. Once again, the first step is creating a presence. The second step, which is even more critical and important, is the content that you start to push out. Now, what are various types of content? The good news is this. As a real estate agent or broker, you are not limited to just posting photos and videos of new home listings, because again, there's more to the real estate industry than just a piece of property that you're selling or that you're trying to find, a prospective buyer or seller or investor for. The different types of content that exist are obviously the low-hanging fruit is photos. Needless to say, we live in a visual, digital world nowadays. But photos even are starting to feel a little bit more antiquated just because of what you can do now with live video, what you can do now with even 360 as well. So my recommendation is if you want your photos to be absolutely stellar and stand out, a couple things that you need to do. I'll actually go back a bullet point before I go to video one. Get yourself a 360 camera. Ricoh Theta is the one that I recommend. I want to say that you can probably find them on Amazon now for less than $200. This 360 photo and video is now not new. So invest in getting yourself a 360 camera where you can do 360 photos that are interactive on Facebook as well as on even YouTube if you're doing 360 video. Matterport, it's a bigger investment, but with Matterport photos, you can do kind of like the dollhouse effect where people can zoom in on your website to see each room of the house, and they can kind of scroll through, and it's fully immersive where you can swipe up, down, all the way around. Or invest in getting yourself a decent DSLR camera. I'll share with you as an example. My mom and dad are real estate brokers in South Florida. Their brokerage is Bold Real Estate Group. And I recently said to my mom, iPhones take great photos, but mom, let's face it, you're also limited with the type of quality if you don't have the iPhone X that has 4K video or 1080p high definition quality. And maybe invest in getting yourself a Canon DSLR for $500, so when you go out to your listings you can take really high quality high definition photos. Because trust me, I'm sure you've seen these before. You have agents out there that they have an older model iPhone, and again, no disrespect to anyone, but you have an older model iPhone that doesn't take those crisp photos, and then you upload them to social media, and there's always going to be that effect where on social media they start to look a little grainy, they look a little blurry, and that's not what you want for your content or your personal brand. Now, the next thing is videos as well. So same thing, videos, there's ways that you can spruce up and dress up your video now. What's really hot on social media is stories. We're gonna get to that here in a moment. Short form video content too. Big mistake that I see agents making is their stories are just too long. Think about social media content as being a highlight reel. So when you go to your listings, try to make your videos be no more than 60 seconds ideally, because the cutoff on a platform like Instagram is in fact 60 seconds. You're gonna see an example here in a little bit that's about 5-minute long video. That's good also as a story, because story content in itself are up to 15 seconds a piece. But again, kind of general rule of thumb is if you're going to do a new home tour, again, think about the platform itself. The average video view on a platform like Facebook is between 16 to 23 seconds. That's not a lot of time. A lot of agents will waste time, and you see this especially in Facebook Lives, because they feel that they have to ramp up. They have to wait to get an audience. Instead of recognizing that most people are going to watch your content on a replay at their own leisure, as opposed to in the moment live, like we're doing here in this webinar, they go ahead and they wait for this ramp up, and they wait 1, 2, 3 minutes until people jump on. And then by that time, you've lost a chance of getting anyone's attention on the replay. Other forms of content are articles and blogs. I'll share with you an example here in the next slide or two on where to go to find articles and blogs. You have conversations or text-based posts. So this is like the easiest way to create content without really doing much. Next time that you're on Facebook, and you can do this right now while I kind of narrate this for you, go on your Facebook page or your profile, or you can even do this on both, and simply ask, do you know anyone that's in the market for a new home? Or if you want to make it more conversational, literally ask this question: what's the one feature in a home that's a must for you? What is the one room in a home where you spend the most time? These questions that you ask and that you frame are short, they're attention grabbing, and they will get people to comment. Social media, it's become a weird space. I do a lot of keynote speaking on this topic of kind of how to growth hack the Facebook algorithm and how to get the most organic engagement. And oftentimes, when you really want people to see your content, they're not going to see it. Facebook is a business. They want you to spend money and pay for that reach. But when you ask the most simplest questions, again, what's the most important room in the home? Do you know anyone that's in the market to buy a new home? What feature in a home is the most important to you? These simple questions anyone can answer. And that, once you start getting people answering your questions, that's where you find your leads. And that's also content without you having to create a photo or video of a listing. The next is audio podcast. So I think he's watching now. I want to give a shout out to Cameron Manning with Keller Williams up in Vancouver. Cameron just launched his podcast, and he's one of a few real estate agents that are podcasting. And you probably are asking yourself, well, why would I want to do a podcast? Well, let's think of it. If you're trying to establish credibility legitimacy and authority in your community, then why wouldn't you create another piece of content that people can listen to when they're on the train, in the car? I'm a big fan of audio podcasts myself because I'm on flights a lot. So with a podcast, you can easily create one with using Anchor. It's a app that you can download. Go onto Anchor and you can record short 5-minute podcasts just with your phone. So go ahead and download Anchor, check it out. You can also share your podcast to iTunes as well. And I often recommend to agents, if you don't want to get into the game of creating a real estate podcast, create a podcast that's relevant to your community. Again, you're a real estate agent or a broker. People are going to know what you do without you even having to really talk much and like hard sell yourself. So I was at an event earlier this year and I met a gentleman named Joseph Gaines with Berkshire Hathaway and up in Indiana. And I said to Joseph, dude, think about creating a podcast just for your community where you're having local business owners come on. And the podcast you can say it's sponsored by your company. Because that's the beauty of a podcast. You can do what you want with it. It's your content. It's your business. It's your narrative. So podcasts, I can talk for probably the next hour on, but just in the interest of time, I'll keep moving forward. Facebook ads is another form of creating content. We do a module in the Social Media for Real Estate Agents course. It's all about Facebook ads. Then there's email marketing. Email marketing, I believe, is still a very strong medium for marketing. I'm sure that there are many of you that are watching this webinar and tuned in right now that perhaps learned about my program and today's webinar through an email that you received. So who doesn't check their email, especially when you're in business for yourself? Think about this. For you, a lead typically comes through your contact us form on your website. So you get notified by that, not through text message, not through social media, but by email. Stories on Snapchat and Instagram. I'm going to talk with you here in a moment and share with you some very real examples from agents. But stories have become very much the new news feed of sorts. The key to stories is keep them short and actually show a progressive narrative of what's happening. So have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Start at the beginning of your day. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today I'm going to be doing X. Join me on this tour, and just kind of walk people through what's happening. And then live video. I'm personally a fan of live video because I think that being able to share with people in the moment in open house, even though they can't get there, there's value in that. With live video, you can also schedule your Facebook Lives. You can schedule the content in advance, which then creates something else for you to talk about. And then there's Facebook Messenger chatbots. So with Messenger chatbots, again, I kind of walk agents through in my program how to set one up. But the easiest way to think of a chatbot is that it's an auto responder, auto reply, where anytime someone goes to your Facebook page and they click on send message, assuming that you're not sitting there at your computer right there and then, they're going to go ahead and get a greeting or a message from you. All you need for a lead, friends, is really a phone number and email address. When you think about it, you can already see someone's name on Facebook. So you don't even need a first and last name. All you need is a phone number and email address. So think of this when you set up a chat bot. If I message you and I get your bot that pulls up, with that bot, it could literally be as simple as like, hey, Carlos, I'm currently away from my desk. What can I do for you? Are you in the market for a home? If so, drop your email or your phone number below, and I will reach out to you within the next 4 hours. Now, where is it that you go to find content? The low-hanging fruit is open houses are great for Facebook Live. For those of you that are seller agents out there, it goes without saying, every open house that you take, you should be doing a Facebook Live, and you should be creating, a video. You should be creating, photo carousels. There's many ways that you can skin the cat and make your open house or your listing look very sexy. Facebook Live is a way of doing this. I know there's agents out there like Cameron Manning that are big in the investment property community. The easiest way, I think, if you want to get investors for a property is build hype and excitement. That's marketing 101. Do a Facebook Live. Actually make a big deal that you're at a property. Then is Realtor.com. So finding news and insights and sharing those news and insights, I think is important to help really brand you as a subject matter expert in your field. Going to websites like Realtor.com, Inman News, Zillow, even your own broker. I know Keller Williams has a blog. I know Remax, Century 21, all the big players in the space. They all have blogs. Those blogs share really good information for consumers. So I want to say that this morning I went on Realtor.com, I went to News and Insights, and their latest article that they had on there was around mortgage rates. So that's good content for consumers that you can share. Then your own inventory of homes for sale or rent. So let's say hypothetically that you're a newer agent in the game. You still have inventory for sale and for rent, and those are listings from your colleagues in your office. That's still content that you can promote. You can get paid on the referral, if you help find a buyer or a renter or a seller in this case also. So inventory of homes, whether it's your listings or your colleagues' listings, is content. And then something that oftentimes gets overlooked is testimonials and reviews left by past clients on your Facebook page, email, or website. So let's say that you sold a home for someone and they were really happy. Have them leave a review on your Facebook page. Have them email you that review, and then take that take that review or testimonial and use that as content on social media. And then setting up a Google alert. So if you go to Google and then just type in alerts for anything real estate, you will literally get an email sent to you every single day with just national news pertaining to real estate. And this is where you can also find thought leadership content. Now, moving forward with a man that has a great personal brand, but also his content is killer. Good friend of mine that works with Compass Realty. His name is Dex. He goes by Dex and the City, as you see there in front of you on his Instagram account. And a couple of things I really like about Dex that I want to point out, other than the fact that he is a great colleague and just an overall good person to know, is one, his branding. So if you're familiar with the show Sex and the City, Dex got really creative and he just changed the Sex and the City part to Dex and the City. And Dex is based in New York City, and I can tell you for a fact, because I've literally done this with him, he's a man that knows every restaurant, every hot bar, every neighborhood that you can imagine, price points. So if you go to Dex and say, look, I'm looking to buy in New York City and ideally looking to stay under 1 million, he knows exactly where to put you. This is an example of where you should aspire to get to. You look at from a content standpoint on his profile, he's got the username down. He's got a nice headshot. He also actually shows what he does and where he is. So real estate broker at Houses Media, it's called out right there in front of you. He has a presence in NYC, LA, and Miami. He's got his website URL. He also has his phone number, so it's really easy to find him. Now, let's analyze the content. First thing that you see below are these little dots, these circles that say NYC, LA, Speaking, Laguna, Miami, San Diego. These are stories that he's now curated. So if you click on Miami, what you're going to see are his archived stories from Instagram in Miami, or when you click on Miami. Same thing for LA, same thing for NYC. Now, when you look at his content strategy a little bit more in depth, what do you see? To me, it's apparent. You see a good-looking dude, nicely dressed, that on the surface, you might think maybe he's a model. I don't necessarily know if he's a real estate agent, but that's the key, right? Dex uses his personal brand to model and feature his listings and his product. And one of my recommendations to agents all the time is you want to mix up your content so it's not just listings. I love Dex's content, but I would not be able to see a photo of a bedroom or a kitchen every single day. So if you kind of see how he mixes it up, it seems like every other photo is a photo of him, and then alternating is a photo of a listing or a property. So you see here an example, beautiful blue velvet focal point for this room. It's clean. It's a bedroom with a bed. There's nothing necessarily all that fancy about it, other than the bed itself is very fancy. But you can see here how he's also optimized his content to be found. He's got hashtags, hashtag NYC, hashtag New York, hashtag $1 million listing, on and on, hashtag penthouses. So here's a really good example to follow of how you can first go and slide back and mix up your content, incorporate your personal brand, and then with the content that you do post, amplify it with hashtags. And you see he's got little over 500 likes on this photo. Now, let's talk about Facebook Live for a moment. So a lot of people mess up with Facebook Live because, like I said before, they are using their iPhone and they oftentimes will wait for people to actually join before they start really going live, so to speak, with talking and doing the tour. So a couple things that you need to know are, while iPhones are great for recording, if you want your content to look quote unquote legit and high quality, there's a few tools that you should invest in. Get a Rode mic, get a light kit, and get a rig. By using a rig, now your videos will be stabilized. By using a light kit, you won't look dark in your content if you are in a home that doesn't have a lot of lighting. And then a Rode mic will amplify the sound so people will be able to hear you really crisp on their end. Go live right away. So as soon as you hit that go live button and it's the 3, 2, 1 and you're live, immediately start with like, hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's open house at this address. Keep your photo or your phone horizontal, so don't turn it to the side. Actually keep it upright or vertical, I should say. Promote your live tour ahead of time as an event as well. So by doing this, people will get a notification on your Facebook page once you go live that you have gone live. They'll see that notification pop up. And this is, again, content that you can promote in advance. And you see here an example of an agent with Keller Williams on the left-hand side. She's promoting her Facebook Live in advance. Let's Talk Vacation Homes. She has her Facebook URL. She has the date, the time of when she's going to go live. She has her photo. So, her personal brand is front and center. And then on the right-hand side, you see there, open house is Friday. Get the video walkthrough and e-brochure and then the features. And, you can sign up to get notified when this Facebook Live goes live. No pun intended. Now, some different examples for you on storytelling. What you see there in front of you is from Snapchat. Snapchat is a medium that has started to lose a little bit of its luster that it initially had, but a lot of the tactics that you would apply on Snapchat are also applicable on Instagram. So the key thing that you need to know with any form of storytelling is that it is, no pun intended, a story. You're taking people through a progression, a beginning, a middle, and an end. You want to showcase yourself, but you also want to showcase your property. So a really good example of that is on the next slide. I'm going to share with you a short video. If for any reason the audio cuts out, I do apologize because I am playing it through the computer. But I will go ahead and share with you this video. It's about 5 minutes long, but I really want you to focus on what I would consider a really stellar A+ Instagram story of a listing.
What's up, Instagram? How are you? How are you enjoying this gorgeous Sunday afternoon? I'm here at my listing, 61 West Garden Road, and I wanted to show you a little tour. So I wanted to give you a little look at this very desirable road in Larchmont. This is a place where kids still ride their bikes, walk to school. And look at this home, amazing. So we're walking up to the front door. So we're entering in to this lovely home. Nice open foyer. And here's the formal, which opens up into this gorgeous dining room. And from the dining room is a sunroom, but you can have it as an office, playroom. And the best part is this hydrangea garden and opening out to this wonderful patio area where you can entertain. Flat yard that's fenced in. One of my favorite parts is that hydrangea garden. Let's go back inside and we'll enter from the patio to the kitchen family room. Here is the gourmet kitchen. With refrigeration for your beverages I think my favorite part is just having the visual of the outside as you're cooking or baking inside. And here is the very warm and inviting family room with the gas fireplace, built-ins. Here is the powder room and an ensuite, in-law suite, au pair, older child bedroom with an attached bathroom. Okay, let's head upstairs. And I'm going to start with the master suite. Very large sitting area, built-in cabinet, linen closet, his and her closets, walk in with great storage, linen closet, and here is and what about this shower? Is this crazy? I would love this. Gorgeous marble, soaking tub. This is what I think keeps marriages healthy. Double sinks, plenty of storage, heated floors. With the additional bedrooms, bathroom. This bathroom adjoins with this bedroom. How adorable to have window seats, the bright light coming in every day. So if you're looking for a dream home for your family and are in Larchmont or Westchester County, please feel free to stop by at my open house. I forgot to mention the rec room downstairs, the extra half bath, the laundry room. I hope you're having the best Sunday, and if you want to make it even more enjoyable, stop by and visit me. I'll be here for another half hour. Hope to see you soon.
All right, so that's a wrap with this Instagram story, and I'll just go back to this slide right here with examples from Snapchat, because once again, storytelling, whether it's on Snapchat, Instagram stories, or Facebook stories, are very similar in terms of, you know, the process and the methodology. Now, I want to point out what Elizabeth did really well. Again, I'd say this is an A+. If you want to be able to see this story again, we are streaming onto Facebook, so you can go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/the Carlos Gil, and you'll be able to see the replay of this entire webinar, including what you just saw with Elizabeth's story. Now, very friendly, upbeat, positive. She has the address. I want to say that was like the second or third piece of content there was the address of the home. It's extremely important. She was funny. Like, I really like what she said. The key to a marriage is double sinks. That really resonated, and I thought that was funny, very true as well. And again, she just seemed personal. She, at one point, almost made me feel like if it was her home, and she's selling me on the idea, on the notion of living in this home. And I had to stop and say to myself, wait a minute, this isn't her home. She's a real estate agent who's taking this listing. So that's the name of the game, right? To make someone, you know, so interested in this house and make them feel so comfortable and invited and welcome. So good job to Elizabeth. And once again, you know, my recommendation to you is that when you are doing storytelling, that you bring people through this progression Show them. You see the example on the left-hand side of real estate agents are staging a property that's getting ready to be listed. You see right there in the middle, a tour of a neighborhood. So oftentimes I'll say to newer agents, look, you're not in the game now with a bunch of listings because you're new and you're starting off, but it's still easy to go in your neighborhood and take people on a tour, take them for a walk, show them the cool things that there are to do, assuming that people in your neighborhood and community are following you. Those are the people who are going to be consuming your content. Now, moving forward, 5 things that you can do right away as we look to wrap up and answer any questions that you might have. First of all, schedule a Facebook Live from your Facebook business page and cross-promote it. So what I mean by this is before you do your next Facebook Live, go to your Facebook page, schedule out that you're going to do a live, and then what I mean by cross-promoting it is post on LinkedIn, on Twitter, even on Instagram stories, that you are going to be doing a Facebook Live and when, and more importantly, what it's about. So if it's a new home tour, if it's an open house, if it's answering questions, let people know what they're opting into potentially. Then go live from your next open house or listing, or do a Q&A for prospective home buyers. In fact, what I would love for each of you to do the next time that you go live is please tag me in the comments. Just tag @Carlos Gil, and you can either tag my profile or my page. I'll see the notification, either or. And I would love to actually see you live and in action, and I'll be more than happy to provide any feedback for you. Next is, if you want to save time, sign up for a Buffer Hootsuite account to schedule social media content to your brand page in order to save time. One of the things I hear from agents quite a bit is they'd love to be more active on social media, but they just don't have the time to do it. Once again, if you're looking for content in terms of thought leadership, go to realtor.com. Zillow, you can go to your own broker's website. I'm sure they have a blog as well, and go to the blog section, in this case for realtor.com, it's news and insights, to find and schedule content to share. And then the last thing that you can do right away is ask your social media community, do you know someone in the market for a new home? Now, next steps that you should follow is we do have a mastermind group set up. It is an exclusive networking group on Facebook. Be sure to join that group today. Go to facebook.com/groups/social media realtors. Also, be sure to update your LinkedIn profile with the key basics being a profile photo, cover photo, summary headline, invite me to connect. And then I'm really excited to let you know about the Top Producer Mastermind. Our next Top Producer Mastermind course launches next Wednesday, August 15th. This is an online-based course. In the past, we would do live webinars, and at the end of that live webinar, we would do a 30-minute Q&A call. Now what we're doing is you sign up for the course, you get unlimited access for an entire year. There are 4 online-based modules, and then every week we're doing weekly Q&A calls. So you can pay one time for the year to join the course. You have unlimited access. The course will be updated as well with new modules throughout the year. So that's really the nice benefit of this, is you pay one time and you literally get all the access to social media marketing learning that you could possibly need. I can guarantee you that the course, as we add more content, will go up in price as we bring in other thought leaders, as we add in more content. So right now is a good time to sign up. And once again, you will get access to weekly Q&A mastermind calls with myself. All lessons are recorded. They do include workbooks, so you'll get access to workbooks for each module. Once again, each module is available for playback at your convenience. The investment is a one-time fee for the year of $9.95. However, we do have an offer that if you sign up before August 15th, you actually save yourself $500. So you'll be able to get in for just about half off. In order to go ahead and redeem that before August 15th, be sure to go to socialmediacareeracademy.com, click on the products link, and then once you go to checkout for the Social Media for Real Estate Agents program, make sure you type in VIP50 as the coupon code in order to go ahead and save $500. So once again, our next course launches a week from today, Wednesday, August 15th. I can guarantee you that if you are looking to take your real estate sales game to the next level, if you're looking to improve your personal brand, if you are looking to go ahead and just dominate your industry when it comes to social media marketing, this is the course that you absolutely need to invest in for the next year. So I'll say it one more time before I open it up for Q&A. Go to socialmediacareeracademy.com, then click on products, enter the coupon code VIP50 to save $500, and you'll get access for $495 for the next year. With that being said, I want to thank you for your time. Once again, I'm going to stick around and answer your questions, but my email address is carlos@gillmedia.co. So feel free if you want to shoot me a note, if you need any help. I also am available to speak and do workshops in person. So if you're interested in having me come out and do a workshop for your broker and for your entire team, I'm more than happy to speak with you in regards to that. carlosgil.biz is my personal website. gillmedia.co is my business agency website. And then you can go to youtube.com/carlosgiltv. And if you want to see previous keynotes, workshops, social media, how-tos, tutorials, you can go find it on my YouTube channel. Be sure you subscribe and, more importantly, share the content out within your community. So I want to thank you for your time today. Hopefully you go ahead and sign up for the course, and I can help you in your progression